Hey, do you know that grape nuts were invented to stop men from frosting their own flakes, from appling their own jacks, from sugaring their own smacks?
I hate this place. Get me out of here.
Welcome to hell! This is a hot dog is a sandwich.
Ketchup is a smoothie.
Yeah, I put ice in my cereal, so what?
That makes no sense.
A hot dog is a sandwich.
A hot dog is a sandwich.
Welcome to our podcast, A Hot Dog is a Sandwich, the show where we break down the world's biggest food debates. I'm your host, Josh Scher.
And I'm your host, Nicole Inaidi.
And today, Nicole, we are talking about whether or not cereal can temper masturbatory urges, because that is at least
Masturbatory?
Masturbatory. You have planetary observatories, you have planetary masturbatories. A place where you just go to...
Oh, I know what that means now.
Correct.
Got
So
it.
there is
Can cereal stop you from doing that?
Yeah.
I don't think anything can stop you from doing that.
Only the power of God.
Unless you don't have hands.
No, well, there is a pervasive myth out there that you see every once in a while, and we've vaguely touched on it, but I wanted to go into the shocking origin stories of pretty much every major cereal in America and how it actually started, because you get some meme that somebody sends us. They'll be like, did you know that cornflakes were invented to stop people from masturbating? And it's a vast oversimplification. And you got to think the amount of religiosity in America back when these flakes were invented, which was in the late 1800s. John Harvey.
Quakers?
What?
Were there Quakers around at that time?
No, so the Quakers did the oat. So Quakers were around at the time. Quakers are around at this time. I was at a wedding in Jersey and I went by a Quaker church.
No way. Quakers are like prevalent in the U.S.?
Yeah, I don't think they're like super popular, but they don't have like the mega church. Justin Bieber ain't going to worship at a Quaker church, but yeah, there's still a fair amount of Quakers.
Were they called Quakers because their bodies used to shake when they would pray?
Yeah, no, actually, that's
so
the
cool.
reason. Quakers were also early leaders in the abolition movement.
Fourth grade history.
Honestly, Quakers seem super chill. I got some Quaker cousins out in Eastern PA, big Quaker haven out there, but no.
I was like, Quaker oat cereal? Wasn't sure if there was a...
It's a vast oversimplification of what the deal was, and it really all stems to Sylvester Graham and graham flour, the inventor of the graham cracker.
Love graham crackers.
Love graham crackers.
They haven't stopped me from touching myself, though.
No, me neither, right? Which is crazy. And I eat a lot of graham crackers, and I do a lot of, eating cereal as well.
A lot of graham crackers, and I actually like them when they're a little bit stale.
Same.
Fun fact about me.
That is a fun fact. What do you think makes a graham cracker a graham cracker?
The fact that it's like in a sheet and it has holes in it, and it's a little bit sweet and it's a little bit soft.
What's the color of a graham cracker?
Brown.
It's brown, right? So the
boring.
What?
Brown is boring.
No. What do you want?
Oh.
What do you want? What color do you want it to be?
I don't know. Maybe the colors make the urges.
Well, what color is a normal cracker?
Also brown.
Yeah, but like tan, right?
Light tan.
Graham crackers are browner than a normal cracker.
Because of cinnamon.
No.
Yes.
Because of graham flour.
Oh.
That's what I was getting at. God, that took a long time. We're so smooth at transitions. We are so in. All right. So graham flour. This is going somewhere. Because graham flour, Sylvester Graham, born in the late 1700s, and he invents graham flour in the 1830s. His mother and father both suffered from mental illness and alcoholism, and so he joined the Temperance Movement. He bounced around from like relative's house to relative's house. He worked in a tavern, and he saw the horrors of intemperance.
What is graham flour? What is graham from?
What do you mean?
Like, what is graham flour?
Oh, so graham flour is wheat, but it's effectively whole wheat flour, right? But this was at a time when almost all the flour coming out. There's a very strange thing that happened with the Industrial Revolution, where we took all of the Earth's natural products, right?
Yes.
And we used to grind whole wheat flour into bread, and all bread was whole wheat bread for like quite a long time in human history, because we were like, this is a plant, you grind it. And,
naturally.
Yeah, but then, in, I believe it was, the Middle Ages in Europe, they would, grind the flour, and then the term flour literally comes from like flora.
Flowering, yeah.
Like flour, wheat flour used to be spelled Flower. It used to be the same.
Really? I had no idea.
Because it is effectively, they're calling it the flour, which back then it meant like the choicest part. It meant like the fillet. They're like, oh, this is the flour of the wheat. Like this is the good stuff. We've taken the germ.
The sticks and stems out.
Yeah, we've no seeds, no stems, no sticks. That real powdery ooh-wee.
Yeah.
Put it in your cakes. You know what I mean? But they took the germ and the chaff and the endosperm off of the wheat, and they refined it And that became a status symbol where people were like, this is
Wow.
great. We have this lovely refined white bread. Industrial revolution happens. People are all now crowding into cities and factories are eating a bunch of refined white flour. They're getting drunk all the time. Sylvester Graham sees this happening, and there's, of course, tuberculosis and cholera outbreaks constantly because people are crowded and sanitation's not that good. And so there were a bunch of ways that people tried to qualm these problems, right? And, you know, modern medicine was sort of in its swing, but still 200 years behind where we are today.
Did they ever think of like just stopping?
Stopping
like,
what?
Drinking?
Yeah, but that's tough. And you need alcohol to get you through the day.
I see.
But also back then, you know, water wasn't as potable. So you were drinking ale all the time.
This is such a good history lesson. Okay,
but
great.
no, but there was a massive, movement to get people to stop from drinking. That's the Temperance Movement, which Sylvester Graham joins. And he then studied under a theologist who was sort of on the cutting edge of vegetarianism at the time. People were like, hey, to stop cholera, you need to drink a bunch of port wine and eat meat because that makes you strong. And then people were like, hey, I don't know, maybe let's consider a vegetable and some water. But anyways, it's sort of like the modern history of health food movements. And that's where almost all cereal comes from. So gram flour is invented. And then in the 1860s, you get James Caleb Jackson, who was kind of part of that
wave.
He invents granola. He believed that illness was all rooted in the stomach. And so he was like, yo, vegetarianism is very godly and good and seems to upset your stomach less. So he had a sanitarium, which was like people would go to sanitariums to cure tuberculosis because like everyone had tuberculosis back then.
Okay.
Yeah, so he has a sanitarium. He starts feeding the cereal. He calls it granola, eventually turns into granola. And so that tends to be the origin of pretty much every breakfast cereal.
Wild.
But then you get into the weirder things as time goes on. Mm-hmm. So then you get into the Battle Creek Sanitarium of John Harvey Kellogg. Where he's given people, 3-liter yogurt enemas to try and cure their stomach illnesses.
Oh, is this the yogurt enema guy?
This is the yogurt enema guy.
Oh, my God. This guy.
So then from Kellogg, you get C.W. Post, who was an employee. He tried to make a caffeine and coffee-free alternative drink to the morning. And he tried to brew it through wheat clusters. And then he was like, ooh, this tastes like crap. But then he ate some of them wheat clusters. And he was like, these are pretty good. And he called them grape nuts.
Are you telling me grape nuts were made through filtering coffee through them?
That was the original impetus behind it. So if you look at like 3 major cereals of Kellogg's, which started with cornflakes, Post, which started with grape nuts. And again, all these places have expanded their lines like crazy.
Huge.
And then the other really big player in this around that time was Chex.
Oh, shoot. I love Chex.
I love Chex too. And then you get Chex Mix, which, oh my God, the bold party mix, Nicole, has the highest amount of MSG, I swear to God, of any snack food. And it is delicious. All MSG and white pepper. But Chex kind of takes the religious extremism of this movement. And again, this was popular at the time, but not exactly mainstream. Not like a majority of people were, in the temperance movement and doing this kind of stuff.
And were people weren't eating breakfast cereals at like a large rate, were they?
No, this was all very niche health food stuff at the time. And I kind of want to get into this later of trying to figure out what the modern equivalent is, because history is a circle, right?
But like, what would the average American eat for breakfast? Gruel?
Well, so there was like a big, people just ate like bread and cheese all the time. But around this time as well, early 1900s, when this is going on, there's sort of this big PR campaign from the pork board to get people to eat bacon, because they're like, hey, these vegetarian religious yahoos want you to eat cereal. We don't like that. We got to get back to eating meat for breakfast. And so they got a bunch of doctors to say that factory workers especially, which a lot of people going from farm to factory at that point, they were like, workers especially, you need healthy protein in your diet. Nothing's healthier than bacon. So that was a swing after that.
So the vegetarians were they were strong enough to alert the pork board, like, hey, there's something going on. We got to really work hard to get them in.
Yeah, and it's one of the strongest PR campaigns of all time. And there's a bunch of crazy stuff about literally just paying doctors to write endorsements for bacon as part of a healthy breakfast. And then, fast forward 100 years and my dad's cooking pancakes and bacon fat on a Sunday morning. But the crazy story around this is Chex. So Chex, again, all this stuff is sprung off of this. Illness and intemperance are caused by the stomach. The things you eat affect the way you think.
Okay.
And so Chex was originally part of the Ralston Chex Company.
Okay.
It was actually Ralston Purina.
Dog food.
Purina dog food. And their logo is
A checkerboard.
Checkerboard. Check
Holy
cereal,
crap.
checkerboard logo. But the Ralstonites were an incredibly deranged, very racist, white supremacist religious cult that believed if you ate such a pure and sound diet that you could be so pure of mind, only white people though, that you could achieve mind control. So that's the origin of most breakfast cereals.
Wait. Why are cereal creators so crazy?
Because a lot of this, the question I really want to answer is, what is the modern day equivalent? And I think we can get to some things, but they're crazy because that was almost all health food wackos who were ambitious enough to be able to make big waves and get their product to market.
But like
they tend to have crazy beliefs.
But like mind control due to what you eat, that's a little bit out there. Even like in the 1920s or whenever it came out.
100% it's out there. So yeah, that is the origin of most breakfast cereals. But Nicole, you know what cereal doesn't have a paranormally racist origin story to it?
I can only guess. Is it Mishmash?
Mishmash! Hey, good news. Mythical came out with its own brand of cereal. It's called Mishmash, and it comes in 2 flavors. We have, was it peanut butter honey sandwich?
That's right. And sweet mac and mallow.
The peanut butter honey sandwich is genuinely one of my favorite cereals I've ever eaten.
It's pretty dang good.
Speaking of cereal being a health food originally, cereal eventually took a complete 180 turn. You had cereals like Captain Crunch, which was actually the first product to pioneer spraying a thin layer of oil
Genius.
on it to get sweetener to stick to it.
Yeah. Genius.
Which is really great. But Lucky Charms first to have marshmallows in it. But then came Mishmash. And it's not too sweet, but it is still sweet enough to where you feel like you're eating a little treat, but you actually like taste the wheat in it. And I just really like it. And it's really great. And you should buy it. You go to eatmishmash.com and you can buy it direct to your mouth holes.
I can't wait to see what people are going to say when they eat it.
I think I'm really stoked. I think the mac and mallow, it's a macaroni shaped cereal.
The first of its kind.
The first of its kind. That we know of, probably, right?
That was such a good ad, Josh.
Thank you so much. It was natural.
Natural.
And then Rhett, Link, you and I are going to start our own sort of religious cult based off of the nutritional properties of that.
I really don't want to.
But if there were to be a modern day strange religious cult around health food, like there was with, cereal, this was going on for like 50 plus years. What do you think it would be?
Erewhon $20 smoothies.
But what's actually in the $20 smoothies? Like, what does it promise? I want you to get into like...
well, it's endorsed by Hailey Bieber, so you're going to look like Hailey Bieber.
But like, what is the active ingredient? Is it collagen? Is that the thing?
It's like collagen, strawberry, like a hyaluronic acid. She has like a skincare line called Rhode. And
what do all these things do for you? They just make you look attractive?
I guess. They don't make you look attractive. Like collagen, helps with elasticity in your skin.
But why do you want your skin to be elastic?
Because what do you mean? Youth.
Which makes you look more
good.
You see what I'm saying? Like it's all just it's meant to make you look hotter. The smoothie's trying to make you look hotter.
Yeah, it is.
And that's a pretty powerful way to start a cult. There's a big practice in the cult world. They call it, what's it called, like honeypotting? Where it's just,
love bombing.
Is it love bombing? Mm-hmm. Well, they take like a really attractive, generally youthful, that's honeypotting. A really attractive, youthful person. I believe Children of God were ones that did this a lot. And they would just like have them stand on the side of the road and they'd just be like, "Hey, sailor, you want to get in this van?" And they'd be like, "Sure do, honey." And then they would join the cult. So that would be a powerful one with Hailey Bieber's smoothie.
I think that's the only equivalent I can think of when it comes to like intense... I don't know. Just
like intense belief systems around
that.
But that belief system is all rooted in wanting to be hot.
Yeah. But these cereals weren't about being hot because hotness wasn't quantified like that.
No, this cereal was like cereal was...
Not this cereal, not Mishmash.
Also about the need to temper masturbatory urges. It's like, that was like...
Why is that so important?
1/100th of it. And also all religious institutions back there were telling you to stop masturbating. So anything else related to religion was somehow involved in that, but that was not the original aim. The original aim was to literally like cure all of society's ills.
But did they really think that breakfast cereal was the answer to that?
They thought that diet was, right? So not breakfast cereal, but they thought diet
makes sense.
was.
You are what you eat. I get that. But there comes a time where you're like, okay, maybe medicine might be useful here.
Yeah, this is 1830s when this starts, and so you didn't exactly have.
You didn't have the answers.
In the 1910s, they were just putting heroin in cough syrup because they're like, this is all we know about medicine right now. We can figure that out later. My thing that I'm fascinated by and that nobody seems to quite understand, and people are making really bold claims about it: gut health.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, Hailey Bieber smoothie also has gut health.
Of course it does. So does all these, like, the cereals They all had, there's like, oh, this is whole wheat flour. And Sylvester Graham in 1830 was just like, hey, this will maybe not lead you to drink alcohol. If you live a healthy life and you feel good, you're not going to want to drink, right? And this is whole wheat flour. It makes you feel good. You're not just, constantly hammered and shoved full of red and salted red meat,
So maybe there's some merit in what these...
But then that over the course of 60 years turns into like, yeah, and hey, if you eat it, only if you're white, you can control people's minds. So that's how this stuff evolves. So I want to see how the gut health cult evolves over the next 30 years to then get me to join a weird commune out in Ojai, because it's going to happen.
I'm interested to see if there's any intersection between gut health and cereal, because I don't know about you, but cereal is a big no-no in this community.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
No, I think
Cereal's
cereal,
a big no-no.
Cereal has been surpassed by Greek yogurt, which is a gut health thing. You literally see the effects of this happening in large scale economic shifts where cereal you've seen on its way out and then Greek yogurt on its way up, which is why we have the antidote. Buy this, come join our cult. We have a commune out in Ojai.
I don't condone that behavior.
But no, and a lot of that has to do with the way that people's perceptions of health have been shifting, right?
Sure.
Now we've been dealing with 40 years of carb-phobia.
Sure.
Which we're all victim to it.
Of course.
We're all victim to it.
You are. I am. He is. All of us.
Going through the In-N-Out drive. Julia takes the top bun off of her hamburger.
Aw, I dated a guy who did that.
Why eat it? That's weird. I always eat her top bun then. I take the top bun and I swipe it through all the fillings that have fallen out of her hamburger after that.
Romantic.
But the point is, Greek yogurt, there's two splits in this cult right now. Protein cult, which, what did I eat before this podcast? Do you see what I was doing?
Big bar? I don't know.
No. I took
don't
turkey.
watch you. I don't
took
watch
turkey
you.
lunch meat and I diped it in our nice chambord.
Did you say diped?
I diped my turkey slices. I have to eat 50 grams of protein every 4 hours or I feel like I haven't completed my day.
Or else he's gonna scream.
And it's gonna make me strong. It makes me strong in body, in mind, in spirit.
Am I a gut health person? I am.
So I think that's the two biggest splits right now. You have the very masculized, right? You got all these alpha dog podcasters out there telling you got to eat 200 grams of protein a day. And then you have the somewhat more feminine. This is the yogurt cult. And we're talking about in stereotypical terms I don't necessarily agree with. Then you got the yogurt, gut health, collagen, smoothie girly cult.
That's me. A little bit.
No, 100%. Nicole, what was the coconut probiotic yogurt? What does that do for you?
Oh, the coconut cult yogurt?
Yeah.
I have a spoonful every morning.
What does it do?
You want me to say it on this podcast?
Tell them, yeah. This
Children
is
listen
health.
to this podcast. I'm not going to tell them. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel, it's like taking a multivitamin, a spoonful of multivitamin.
But are these things
Do you take vitamins?
What?
Do you take vitamins?
No, I don't believe in vitamins.
At all?
No, I think vitamins exist, but I think if you eat a varied enough diet, you get all of not only the vitamins, but the provitamins that you need to activate those vitamins. I heard it on I heard it on a guy who once had a buddy who was on Joe Rogan's podcast, and he said that. And he said not to take vitamins. And he said that if I eat elk meat, then I'll finally be big and strong, and my dad will love me.
Okay, so you don't take vitamins?
No.
No daily vitamins?
No, a lot of bodybuilders and lifters and stuff will take a multivite.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of them are also the ones who every single day are only eating chicken, rice, and a little bit of broccoli. Whereas I am constantly eating all of the vegetables and they're seasoned with something about kale and vinegar. Vinegar makes the iron in the kale actually absorb. I don't know. The point is, nutritional science as it relates to your life changes all the time. And you see very strange repercussions to this. Mm-hmm. And I'm really curious where this is going in the future. So, for instance, right, Amazon buying Whole Foods.
What about it?
Whole Foods used to be, you've been to an older Whole Foods, right?
What do you mean?
There's the Whole Foods in Sherman Oaks that just looks like a house.
Oh, I love that one.
It's an old school, first gen Whole Foods. And
Love
the vibe in there is so different.
It's because the ceilings are so low.
The ceilings are so low because Whole Foods was just a bit of a crackpot health food store when it started out in Austin, Texas. Right?
It started in Austin?
Yeah, Whole Foods, their HQ is based in Austin.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, oh man, the big Austin Whole Foods they got is incredible.
Never been.
But I think a lot of these former health food things, Erewhon, for instance, was based off of the macrobiotic diet, which was its own sort of cult-esque fad.
I've been a fan of the macrobiotic diet for years.
Explain to them what the macrobiotic diet is.
I don't actually know what it is.
No, me neither. It was Madonna. Madonna was into it.
All I know is that there was a place called M Cafe in Beverly Hills, and I used to go to the macrobiotic cafe all the time. I think it's like no refined sugars and like no refined like things. Okay, macrobiotic aims to avoid food containing toxins.
There's no such thing as a toxin.
Many people follow a completely vegan diet with no dairy products or meats, but some people eat small amounts of organic fish and meat. There is no scientific evidence that the macrobiotic treats or cures cancer. I love macrobiotic food, though.
I thought of a third direction that the cultification of health food could go.
Not one direction?
No, not one direction. There's a third. So you got like heavy, no carb, alpha dog, eating elk meat and stuff. Uh-huh. Then you got the gut health girlies. Uh-huh. Which you can be a boy, you can be non-binary and be a gut health girly. You know, listen, I drink my Olipop with Jerusalem artichoke inulin in there. You know, I like to poop because I got to poop out all that elk meat that I'm eating. And then you got the third, and I think this is a really fun one.
Which one?
You got like the 3D printed meat that I think a lot of this started with like Impossible and Beyond. Uh-huh. But I think you have the Futurists.
Okay.
Who are like, in the future, we won't need agriculture. We don't need to think about nutrients because everything will be bioengineered.
I would really like to be a part of that wave.
You think you can convert from
you know how you
gut health girly
you know how you talk about like how you're post food?
Yeah, I'm post restaurant.
You're post restaurant.
Yeah.
I think I'm like eking towards post food too because I'm like, I'm just tired of eating.
Have you had Soylent?
No, but I really want to have Soylent.
It tastes really good.
I feel like I would really vibe with Soylent for like a week, and then I'd be like, I need joy. I need happiness.
100%.
But I would like to have the mental wherewithal to be that kind of futurist, to biohack, to like be able to, I don't know, microdose mushrooms at work or whatever the heck.
Yeah. You're living one day. I'm out here. I got 6 days. So I wake up at 2:30 in the morning, right? And then I meditate and I get my oxytocin response in on the elliptical in 2 hours. That's one day. Day number 2 in my day, I take a poop. I'm there for an hour. I'm listening to a book on tape on triple the speed. That's 3 days.
Is this hypothetical?
What? No, this is how I wake up every single day.
Okay.
Which of these 3 directions of modern day health cult-esque food beliefs do you think are going to win out in the future? First up, biohackers who are drinking Soylent and making meat out of mushrooms and adding hemoglobin into it and 3D printing your chickens.
I think it might just be all 3 of them going at the same rate, actually.
You think we're going to have like 3D printed elk meat?
Yes, I do.
With probiotics and collagen inside it. So you look hot like Hailey Bieber.
Yes, I do.
But also have such an ab belly as Joe Rogan.
Ab belly.
But then also, what was the Twitter guy? Jack Dorsey? Okay. But also like go to, month-long silence retreats like Jack Dorsey.
I think that's what's bound to happen. I mean, at least for the elite.
I'm in. Who's the leader of this?
You.
Who leads it? I don't think I have what it takes to be a cult leader. I know some people say that I do.
He absolutely has what it takes.
I don't have the stamina and the energy to do it.
He absolutely does. He's just being humble right now.
There's one person who's led the world, I believe, in cult-esque food beliefs.
Who do you think it is?
Well, we order her salads all the time in this kitchen.
Gwyneth Paltrow!
Because there are these names that go down in history, right? Sylvester Graham, James Caleb Jackson, John Harvey Kellogg, C.W. Pose. Like,
interesting.
These are names that go down in history, and I want to know the people that are going to go down in history
from
this generation. The Liver King.
Liver King and Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh, that's a good one. That is a good dichotomy of people.
Yeah.
And then there's like whoever the Impossible Food CEO is.
It's a robot. It's just a cute robot. It's not even a person. It's the robot making the food because they're going to have, I don't know, whatever they call it, consciousness in like 3 years when we put a chip in them.
I mean, that could be a new good one. It's just like an AI-led.
What does this have to do with cereal?
It all has to do with the origins of the cereal because, Nicole, cereal is really the origins of ourselves. And I think it tells us a lot about us as a society and where we're going in the future. And also, we made a cereal, and it's called Mishmash. You can buy it at eatmishmash.com, and it's very delicious.
Hold up the other
Oh my God, I'm trying. Man. My back hurts because I don't eat enough cereal. But if you eat cereal and collagen and elk meat and Soylent, it won't.
Buy Mishmash cereal, you schmucks.
All right, Nicole. For you and I have to say, now it's time to find out what other wacky opinions are rattling out there in the universe. It's time for a segment we call Opinions Are Like Casseroles. But first, Nicole, before we get to that, we have everybody's true favorite segment, Review a Review. That is where I review one of the many reviews you have left on the Apple Podcast review page. Please go review us. It does help. This says from @KittyCatKel, almost 4 stars, despite giving us 5 stars. Wanted to give 4 stars for some of the opinions that Josh and Nicole have, but everyone is entitled to their own wrong opinion, and that is very true.
That's the whole point of the podcast, maybe. Well, at least the second half of it.
That's great. And I don't think you should be judged for the qualitative analysis of your opinion, but for the quantitative analysis. It should just be about the amount of opinions that you have and the amount of words that you say about each opinion.
And let me tell you, us two, so many opinions.
We have the best words.
Oh, the review gets 2 stars.
Oh, 5-star review, 100%. All right, first opinion.
Hey, Josh. Hey, Nicole. This is Nathan coming at you from Palm Springs.
Shout out, Palm Springs.
So, my family hates me for this, but
I'm sorry, family hates you.
one weird food opinion I have is I used to like to wrap marshmallows in salami and eat it when I was a kid,
Whoa.
and my family still hates me for it. So, let me know what you think about that, and yeah.
I have a bit of a hypothesis.
Okay, you go with yours.
Do you think that maybe his family hates him for deeper reasons, but was just using the salami marshmallow thing as an excuse?
Why isn't your microphone on your table?
I just felt like reclining right now.
Maggie, is that shot okay for you?
I think I look great in the shot.
I'm just making sure Maggie is okay with it.
I think I look great right now.
I think I understand. You just wanted the sweet and salty. Marshmallows, I don't keep them in the house. I don't eat them in the house.
I keep a lot of marshmallows in the house.
keep-
I really do, yeah.
I'd rather keep salami in the house.
I always keep some sort of condiment,
Yeah.
like a cured, heavily spiced meat in the fridge.
Love salami.
Sometimes it's chorizo, sometimes it's salam, sometimes it's prosciutto. Sometimes it's like a longanisa or a linguiça. Any of the
Wow.
isas, really. I like keeping them in the fridge.
The pairing. Pairing.
Do you, Nathan, level with me, are you like a cat? 'Cause cats love both salami and marshmallows.
Cats love novel textures.
They love novel textures and novel and they kind of are indiscriminate about what they taste like because their taste receptors aren't the same as ours. So I'm wondering if you are part cat?
Meow.
But no, as a human, the human eating experience of that to me would not be pleasant whatsoever.
I think it'd be really pleasant.
Really?
Yeah, I would do that.
Salami with you want to make meat mallows.
Yeah. Maybe I do.
What if, Nicole, instead of meat mallows, you had mac and mallows?
Josh, we did that part. You don't need to show it off anymore. Okay. Put it down.
All right, next opinion.
Hey, Josh and Nicole, love the podcast. This is Filippo out in Colorado Springs.
Hey.
And I made a mistake. I bought some LaCroix because I wanted a nice little treat and never really had it before. And, the flavors sound nice. I know they don't really taste like anything. It's smell, and I put it in a glass. That ruins all the flavor. All the flavors in the can.
Whoa.
So I'm drinking less carbonated, flavored-ish, cold water.
You think so?
Wait
Thanks,
a
love the show.
tick.
Bye.
Wait, who can get up from this table and grab a LaCroix in a glass right now? Maggie, run.
Maggie, run.
Thank you so much, Maggie. I really appreciate you. This is fascinating because I would think the opposite would happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like with a beer, when you pour it into a glass, you can actually smell it. You can get the aromas. You can
Sure.
dip your nose. You dip your nose inside the foam.
You dip your nose in the foam?
Yeah, you got to dip your nose in the foam of a beer.
Oh my gosh, Maggie!
Thank you, Maggie. Wait, I need a glass. Maggie, I need a glass. Thank you. We're going to do this little experiment to see what's up. This is apricot. How do you tell that some of these flavor, like what's a beach plum?
I love beach plum. It's my favorite LaCroix flavor.
I smell the apricot. I don't taste it, but I smell it and smells part of taste. You got it? You got that flavor locked
Yeah.
in? Pour it in the glasses. I don't know. I don't have a scientific reason for this other than like they claim that they use natural fruit essence, right? But is that in all LaCroix or is that just for like citrus ones? Does that make sense?
I'm not sure.
No, it smells. It's
I didn't get it in the trash can.
Filippo from Colorado Springs is absolutely lying. It smells and tastes 100% more intense, like double, triple
Yeah.
in a glass.
What are you saying?
Filippo, I don't like that you're lying for attention. I don't like that you're making up fibs.
Do you think you might have like just let it out? Like left it out maybe?
Yeah.
I'm trying to understand.
I would know. Filippo, can you call back? Was there ice in the glass?
If there was ice in the glass, the coldness might reduce the scent.
Yeah. No, 100%.
might
And that would
mute the
also
scent.
release the carbonation. I'm wondering if some of the flavor agent, whatever's in there, is maybe trapped in the bubbles.
Well,
You know what I
I think Felipe needs to call back. Felipe, call us
Felipe,
back.
Go back, man. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. But I do think you're lying for attention, and I don't like that.
We did a science experiment, and you were wrong. Deal with it.
Hey guys, this is Zach. I'm from LA too. My opinion is kind of just like a journalism opinion, but it presents itself a lot in the food world.
Interesting.
And that is, if someone states something as a question, so if an article's headline is best iced latte in Los Angeles, or best breakfast burrito in the country, that's not a statement.
Yeah,
and I feel like coffee shops or restaurants or whatever will always ride that wave and be like, oh yeah, we're the best iced latte in North America, whatever. They didn't say that. They asked it. So that's my opinion. Love you guys. Hope you're well. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Bye. Okay, well,
this is actually a very astute opinion.
Yes.
Zach's a very smart person.
You're a person who makes titles and thumbs for YouTube channels, for YouTube
I
episodes.
was a person who probably wrote some of the articles that they're
That's
referencing.
true.
There was a really funny times. I used to be a journalist and still
right.
try and keep a little bit of journalistic efficaciousness in what we do
Sure.
here. But there was a time when we were producing, I just started working at Mythical. We were producing some episodes about donuts, and Stevie was like, hey, we need the best, most coolest donuts in LA. Can you find them? I was like, yeah, I know exactly what they are. And she goes, well, no, can you just do some research? And I was like, Stevie, Google best donuts in LA right now. And she Googled it, and my article that I wrote about the best donuts in LA were at the top of the list. Do you want to know a secret? Do you want to know a fun secret that I thought I'd take to the grave? But now I want to tell Zach the truth.
What?
There were several donuts on there that I'd never eaten before.
Oh.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't think I've eaten. It was like the 19 best donuts in LA.
And you ate maybe 14.
I don't think I'd eaten 19 different donuts in LA. You find a donut spot near you, you kind of eat it.
So your journalistic integrity is not as
There's
sound.
none. No,
there is none.
It's you are forced to write 3 articles a day to keep the SEO, search engine optimization, train churning. And there are so many people. Jonathan Gold, only food writer to ever win a Pulitzer Prize. He did it for LA Weekly. So many people are like, why can't we go back to the days of Jonathan Gold writing great reviews? Because he would go back to a restaurant 4 or 5 times on the dime of the publication, and he would write, one review every 2 weeks, 1 review a month. Whereas you start in the industry now, you're making $30,000 a year. You got student loan debt because they won't hire you without a degree, and then you dropped out of college, so you just lied about your degree, and then you lied about the donut shops that you didn't actually go to, and it's a really hard life. So if adding a question mark to the end of your thing will get 15% higher click-through rate, and more page views, that might up the advertising dollars, so you could potentially make $34,000 a year instead of $30,000 a year. That's what you got to do. It's a rough life out there.
What he said.
I like doing this better.
Hey, what's up, Josh and Nicole? This is Jeff. I'm currently moving from Arizona to Tennessee. It's about a 24-hour drive, and I'm 20 hours into it, and I've listened to your guys' podcast for every single minute I've been in the car.
Your brain is melted, brother.
So thanks for the endless entertainment. It's been nothing short of a treat. My hot food take is that asparagus, no matter how it's prepared or what it's topped with, is not good enough to justify the fact that my pee is going to smell bad for the next 3 to 4 hours. So let me know what you think. Love the pod. Talk to you guys next time.
One, very flattered. That and also,
thank you for listening to us for so long.
I don't know if that's a good idea, listening to us for that long. Take a break.
I couldn't listen to either of us for that
Listen
long.
to a fantasy football podcast, brother.
No, keep listening.
No, keep
It's
listening.
good. No,
Keep
it's good. It's
buy
good.
the products they have. Use the discount codes.
Yeah. Have mishmash cereal. I actually did a 23andMe, and I found that I carry the gene that asparagus makes my pee smell. I have that. Did I need a test to tell me that? No, but it's nice to know that I have it. And I disagree. I think asparagus is delicious, and it's probably one of my favorite vegetables to nosh on.
Especially big asparagus, not the babies.
I love big asparagus. Big, fat, thick asparagus is my favorite. And I actually think it totally justifies smelly pee. I think beets also justify your pee being a little bit tinged red and pink.
So I have the beet gene, because some people don't get that. They call it scarlet trace, where you eat a red beet. I have it hard.
Why my pee so confusing?
Oh my God. I will go pee after eating beets, and I will have forgotten that I ate beets, and I'll just think there's blood in my urine. And then I start frantically Googling blood, started atoning for all my sins. But the asparagus thing, so I don't get that. The asparagus pee thing, I don't smell other people's pee often enough to know what asparagus pee smells like. And so for me, I've always been flummoxed. I'm like, how often and for what elapsed amount of time are you spending in your own pee smell? And if you are spending more than, say, the 15 seconds that it takes to pee with your own pee smell, I think it's more of a lifestyle issue. Like if you're just peeing in a bucket in the corner of your bedroom, I've had friends that just keep a Gatorade bottle near their bed and they just pee in the bottle instead of going to the bathroom. You know, if you're doing that.
In their room?
Yeah, just got a piss bottle.
In the car, I understand. In your room, there's a bathroom.
I agree. Nobody likes that they do that, but they do that. That's the point. So
do
I'm
these
saying,
people have roommates? Sorry, I touched you.
Housemates, not living in their room.
They have
They have their own separate room where their pee bottle is.
Wait.
This is multiple people, by the way.
Wait a second. A housemate is a roommate.
Well, yeah, but there's a difference of peeing in a Gatorade bottle with somebody in a bed 3 feet away from you
there's
versus...
no implication. Wait a second. There's no implication that your roommate is in the room with you when you live with your roommate.
Sure, but I'm saying for the purpose of the pee bottle, there's not a person... They are enclosed by 4 walls away from the site.
Do you think it's because they have social anxiety and they don't want to see the person like...
It's definitely, it's something. It's one of those acronyms that,
Is it like depression?
Like an OCD, like something like that. It's something.
Okay.
But I had multiple pee bottle friends. And so if you're spending that much time around your own pee, I think you have bigger issues than the asparagus smell.
How many of your friends have pee bottles?
Like 3.
Do I know any of them?
No.
I can't wait to meet them.
Oh, yeah, no, you will one day. And I'm not going to tell you that they were the pee bottle friend until...
I'm going to ask you.
It's going to be my wedding.
I'm going to ask you and you're going to say yes or no.
I'm going to tell you after my wedding whose hand you shook that maybe peed in a bottle the night before. Anyways, I love asparagus. The only thing that makes my pee smell is coffee. I drink a bunch of coffee and I pee and it smells, which improves the smell of my pee because it just smells like, Folgers.
The best
it smells
part
like
of waking up is peeing in your cup.
It's actually Don Francisco. I drink Don Francisco.
Oh my God,
every night. Can you do a Don Francisco jingle about pee?
Un aplauso, piss, por favor. Did you like that?
Bellissimo.
Thank you.
Hey, Josh and Nicole. Long time, first time. This is Travis from St. Louis.
Long time listener, first time caller.
That was efficient.
I'm sorry to all the abuelas out there, but I just wanted to say that the best mayo for elote is Kewpie. Thanks. Enjoy the show.
Disagree.
No.
I disagree.
Mayonesa con limón.
Yeah. McCormick mayonesa con limón.
Correct. Absolutely. No, Kewpie could never. Well,
No, Kewpie can. Kewpie could. But the best is McCormick mayonesa con limón.
Well, let's play some devil's advocate here.
Do I have
El
to?
abogado de diablo, if you will.
Avocado? Isn't that lawyer?
Yeah, but advocate means lawyer.
In what world?
Isn't French for lawyer is avocat, which is literally where advocate comes from. Like a lawyer advocates for somebody.
I learned something
like an advocate.
today.
Do they still use the term advocate in Britain or not? It's kind of an old-timey term for lawyer. But anyways, play devil's advocate here. You're already likely putting fresh lime juice and or tahini, which is dehydrated lime juice or citric acid, on that. So there's a world in which Kewpie there's MSG in it. To me, it's eggier. It's a little bit sweeter, less acidic, less salty than...
It works.
100%. Do you think it would be better? I don't...
You know what's better than that? Blue Bonnet.
Are you talking about the butter?
Blue Bonnet fake butter is
Or like
even
parquet?
parquet.
I don't like butter like that. Like even in general, I just don't.
On
I'm not a
elote,
butter guy.
butter and mayonnaise together is the best.
On elote, I don't love it. The only thing I don't think there's ever a world in which I prefer. Like on some banh mi, they'll do like Maggie brown, like the brown sauce.
Sure.
They'll do Maggie with mayonnaise and butter and spread that in the banh mi. And I would just always prefer mayonnaise as opposed to butter.
Interesting.
To me, butter is it's like thicker, stodgier, unseasoned mayo. And so for me, if I'm doing elote, I'll generally mix mayonnaise with some sort of hot sauce, but the McCormick mayonesa con limon is the one that I will likely use. And then I just probably enjoy using that on most of my foods.
Yeah.
That's what we should start. That's another food cult out there is the Kewpie cult.
We can talk about it in the next podcast.
The only thing I want Kewpie in is if I'm mixing some sort of sweet with it and then like dipping a Japanese fried dish.
Is that
inside
true?
there.
I love Kewpie tuna salad.
No, I would rather use a Best
Duke's?
Foods Duke's. Duke's does a great job, probably the best. But to me, there's never been anything wrong with Best Foods mayonnaise. Or Hellman's as it's called. Well, no, there's no more Hellman's anymore, right?
I don't know.
I think it's all Best Foods now. something. They may have discontinued it, but I respect the fact that you're playing with elote, and elote is one of my favorite foods to make at home.
I don't make a lot of elote at home.
Oh, it's my favorite thing to bring to parties and potlucks.
Like actual corn on the cob? Or?
Yeah, I'll cut the corn into like 3 segments and square it off a little bit.
You bring that to parties?
Yeah,
that's
all the
awesome.
time. Yeah, and then I'll just kind of boil a little bit, throw it on the grill, put it in a big old sheet tray, drizzle it all with the mayonnaise.
That's nice of you. That's nice.
It's my favorite thing.
Nice.
Hey, Josh and Nicole. This is Drew from Connecticut. Usually I'm a big fan of the show, but I have to say you disappointed me so much.
Oh my gosh.
We will do it again.
Just listened to your Is Pork White Meat podcast, and as a donut lover, you went over at the end one of the opinions and didn't know how cake donuts were made.
Oh, yeah.
And
That was
Nicole,
a weird
you were
moment.
saying that they're baked. No. As soon as you bake it, it's a cake ring. Donuts have to be fried.
Mm-hmm.
So whether it's a yeast donut or a cake donut, it's got to be fried to call it a
No
donut.
way.
And there's room in the world for both of them. One day you're a yeast person, one day you're a cake person. But, yeah, I'm sorry, guys. You just let me down. I'm sure you'll make up for it. But anyways, still love you, and take care.
There was a real...
The donut lover.
There was a real amount of disappointment in that person's
What's
voice.
the last time you disappointed someone like that?
Probably more recently than I'd like.
I'm sorry.
I will do it again.
I don't want to agree with you, because if I go into the back of a donut shop and I see a combi oven, I know that it's being used for donut cookery.
No, they're probably like melting the cheese on their turkey cheese croissant. I don't know if that tracks for a lot of people. So in LA, donut shops are like the closest things we have to bodegas in LA.
True.
They'll sell like lottery tickets and sometimes cigarettes that they're not supposed to be selling. But you can go there. You can get like any amount of croissant sandwich and donuts. And sometimes you walk in and they're not selling donuts or coffee or anything. You try and buy something and they're just like, get out of here. And you're like, what's this storefront actually being used for? So yeah,
What's up?
Some cake donuts are baked then fried though.
Some
cake donuts, though, are just extruded. The batter's extruded through a little, like, shotgun thing.
Yeah.
But, like, surely there are places that are baking them in a ring mold and then frying them because it's... No, I don't know if they would do that.
I don't know what's going on
But I agree
anymore.
that donuts have to be fried.
No, they don't.
You take a yeast donut and you bake it, that's a roll.
Yes.
You fry it, that's a donut. The frying is endemic to donuthood.
Is it?
Also, not just that I'm seeking this person's approval... But I am, because you set that up. I found myself craving a cake donut over a yeast donut for the first time in my life very recently.
Are you pregnant?
I might be, and I will love the baby, no matter what gender it is. But they're playing American football regardless. They're playing football.
That's brave of you.
Girl, boy, envy? No, they're playing They're playing left tackle. Apple cider donut. That's a cake donut, and that's a very good donut.
Is it fried?
Yes, it's fried. Of course, you can. You know what donuts aren't fried, Nicole? Ones that say baked donuts, like veggie burger. The baked negates the donut hood. It's fool's gold.
So you mean
it's a voided check.
So Entenmann's is fried?
What?
Entenmann's donuts?
No, I don't know if Entenmann's is right, but that's like a prepackaged, situation. I don't agree with that.
That is endemic to donuthood.
Entenmann's might be fried.
I'm giving you an example.
Donuts, no, I don't think they would be. They're not fried, right? Are they fried?
I'm giving you an example of a donut that is not fried, and you're saying that Entenmann's donuts are not donuts?
Well, they might be fried. We just don't know.
What do you think?
Yeah, they're probably baked, right? It'd just be easier to bake them. But there's a spray of oil. There's a wet.
Okay,
That's
just because.
water.
So are you telling me just because Captain Crunch is sprayed with oil and then iced with sugar, that means it's a donut now? Get out of here, Josh.
You ever go to a place called Faux Nuts?
Yeah.
It's
on
like
Third.
they're like healthy baked.
Yeah.
Oh wait, you should donut lover. Come out to Los Angeles. We'll take you to Faux Nuts. It's
I'm not
gluten-free,
taking you
vegan,
anywhere.
and baked. And they have like fun little
Josh will
flavors.
take you, like strawberry,
rose and
hibiscus.
pistachio, and they all just taste 80% worse than you want them to. All right. Well, on that note, we're going to get the heck out of here. Thank you so much. Stopping by Hot Dogs and Sandwich. We got new episodes, audio only every Wednesday. We got the video coming out on YouTube.
And if you want to be on Opinions or like Casseroles, hit us up at 833-DOG-POD-1. The number again is 833-DOG-POD-1.
I got a stain on this shirt, but
Let
I was
me
going to
see.
wear it to dinner. Can I still wear it to dinner?
Yeah, it's
I have
fine.
another shirt to wear, but it kind of makes me look like lame.
Can I see what it looks like?
The other shirt?
Yeah.
No, because I think you're going to like it and you're going to tell me to wear it.
And is that bad if my opinion makes... What do you mean? Are you asking for my opinion or no?
No. I wanted you to validate what I already wanted to do, which is wear this stained shirt
I
to
think
dinner.
you should look your best at dinner.
Oh. And for more Mythical Kitchen, we got new videos out every week. You know the deal, over on the Mythical Kitchen YouTube channel where you might be at right now. See y'all next time.